I think it's important. So we are being very clear in the fact that we are asking the mayor to stay in his lane when he's taking the side between community and the police. His lane as the mayor is to be supporting the residents of this city. We have been very clear in our demands for the mayor to have public meetings. I believe there are discussions of the first stage of public meetings to be had. If the mayor is deciding to listen to the community, and if the mayor is listening to the ask that thousands of people have been asking for a year now, then we'll be more than happy to have a conversation about that.
Yeah, but the police are residents of this community.
About true elimination of carding. We'll be more than happy to have a conversation about how we can have a series of public meetings to hold all our politicians accountable. We'll be more than happy to have conversations around those. But we've been repeating the same things ad nauseum. We've been repeating the exact same points and the exact same bullets for a while now. And for us, it's important to reiterate the fact that our demands haven't changed. We've been at the same table back and forth now.
So Rodney, we heard about a lot of people condemning, critiquing what Black Lives Matter did on Sunday. What have the conversations been like inside of the Black LGBT community that you consulted with before you did this? What has the response inside the community been?
I think what is important to recognize is that, again, any decision that we make is with community. Anytime that we are out here on the streets, anytime that someone invites us to sit with them and we sit down, we are going to do that with the consultation of community. And I think the reality is when you break open something as huge as anti-blackness within Pride, any person who's a part of the Black LGBT community is going to feel affected. They're going to be triggered. They're going to be in pain. They're going to feel unsafe. And what's happening within our community, of seeing the comments, of seeing the hate, of seeing people who are claiming that we are part of their community, not sticking up for us, the reaction has been complete and utter dissolution and needing to do something about this.
Rodney, I know you're Rodney over here.
Yeah.
Come over that Santa Claus parade. Police are involved in that. Is that something you guys would consider a sit down or protest?
Sir, we're here to talk about Pride. I'm not really here for questions like that are trying to demean what we're asking for our community. Are there any other questions?
Why don't you want to answer that question?
Are there any other questions?
What was the question?
So last time I checked, Santa Claus wasn't of a marginalized community.
Yeah.
Last time I checked, he was a portly, well-fed, jolly white man who lives in the north in a giant home and has an entire industry that he can rely on.
And it's
So I think he's okay. So I think Santa Claus is cool. But thanks for that. Thanks for that.
And completely
Next question.
Next question.
Can you talk about the response you got from the gay community? I read death threats in some cases.
Yes. So here's the reality. Gender and sexual diversity does not negate racism. It doesn't erase racism. As a direct result, there have been a backlash. There's been a backlash from communities that actually have never been invested in blackness, in black people, in marginalized populations, in poor and sex working people, and we've seen that historically within Pride. But there's also been lots of communities who have been waiting for the right opportunity. And so here's the reality. Challenge tactics, critique tactics. Not ours though, because they're great. But the reality is this, what this has done has exposed the very reason why we exist in the first place. It has exposed why Black Lives Matter exists. It exposes and affirms why we did the action in the first place. Racism exists here in Canada. It has existed since the genocide of Indigenous people. It continues to exist while there's a mass inflation of Black Canadians streamlined to Canadian federal prisons. It continues to exist when Black people are pushed out. And so one of the most historically radical parades, events, and moments in this city and worldwide. So it's very much exposed the reason why we exist and the reason why 3 words that just say Black people have an inherent right to life, Black Lives Matter, why it is considered a controversial statement in this city and why it's treated like that in the media.
Just going back to the controversial statement, because there's a lot of division about this in our city, let alone around the world. What do you think people should do to maybe try to understand? Is it education? Should people try to read out more, figure out what's going on? Or what do you think people need to do to figure it out?
I think there are several ways that we need to address that. I think it happens in the educational system. I think it happens in the media. I think it happens as a cultural shift, and that is one of the most successful things that have come out of this. There's been a huge cultural shift. We're asking questions about the role of police. We're asking questions about safety. We're looking at what Pride is going to be in the future. We're looking at how to make it more inclusive. Anytime there's a cultural shift, we are winning. And so it's really important to uplift that this is more than just policies, legislation, and institutional shifts. This is a shift that has to happen on the public level, on the communal level, and understanding what it means to actually be invested in social justice, what it means to be invested in equality and equity, and in freedom for all. What does it actually mean? These are the shifts that we need to see more of in order for those three words to be something that actually should mean everything to everyone. Black Lives Matter. It's really not that controversial. Black Lives Matter.
You've caught the attention of the local and national media at this point based on really what happened on Sunday and of course what's happened in the past several months. Do you have any future plans this summer? We've got the Toronto Caribbean Carnival coming up at the end of the month. Are you involved at all in that carnival? Do you have any plans for that carnival? If you are not involved, what role at all do you have, or what plans does your group have?
We're invested in focusing on Pride. That is our investment. We're focusing on being committed to our communities and being accountable to our communities and seeing it through. There's many things that are on the horizon, but right now this is where our focus is, and we're going to continue to uplift names like Sumaya Damar, like Andrew Loku, and like Jermaine Carby, because these are names that are often forgotten in light of all of the other things that could possibly be happening. We've shown up historically in the city. We'll continue to show up.
Can you comment on the two recent police shootings in the United States?
Can you repeat the question again?
There was two recent police shootings
Yes.
in the United States, in Minnesota and Baton Rouge.
Yes.
As the Toronto chapter of Black Lives Matter, what do you have to say about that?
What do we have to say about that hasn't already been said? We've all seen the videos. Both of these men were unarmed, who have families, who were literally just existing. And as someone who is part of the Black community who does this work, it's hard to imagine every morning waking up Black and seeing another lifeless Black body on the ground with bullets in their chest, in their back, and then having people ask us why it is that we do the work that we do. These deaths have happened within 24 hours. Within 24 hours, there were two different videos of Black men being shot and killed by the police. When we talk about Black Lives Mattering everywhere, they do. When we talk about Black Lives Mattering in LGBT communities, they do. What we saw over the last 24 hours is the reality of living while Black. It's the reality of being able to walk down the street, to have CDs, to be driving in your car and be shot and killed for it. What we have to recognize now that this isn't just a coincidence and that these aren't just random names. Andrew Loku isn't one moment. Jermaine Carby isn't one moment. Alton Sterling isn't one moment. Maya Hall isn't one moment. This is a continuing process of the attack of lives on our bodies. As Black Lives Matter Toronto, we will always be on the front lines for our people. We will always show up when they're murdered in cold blood, and we will always say their names. Fernando, Alton, Fernando. We are here for them, and we will continually be here for them. And please recognize what it means to have to wake up every day and see that smeared across the media. What it means to have to live that triggering experience every day. As Black Lives Matter Toronto, we are with the families of Alton, we are with the families of Philando, and we will continuously be there for all Black lives.